dun. Yes, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will be glad and rejoice in it. There's nothing I can do about the mess that's going on. We can live the best life we can, be the best human we can, and that's about it. ¿Cómo están? ¿Todo bien? Good morning. All right, I'm going to start right into it. Today, we're making a hearty soup with some cornbread. Easy peasy. But I need to make some marinara first. So let us get this going. Oh, my knife. So we're going to start by making a quick marinara. And I don't buy this stuff from the store anymore. And you won't. Once you learn how to make this, it is so easy. You should always have some in your fridge, in your freezer. You can freeze it. You can put it in so many things, in soups and not just pasta, okay? Good marinara is like having garlic and, butter. Like when I had kids, peanut butter and jelly used to be something I always had in the house. So, oops. That's what we're doing. And again, we start with onion and garlic. Always gives your food a good taste. If you don't like onions, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe green onions. Because the thing is, you're just using onions to flavor. It's not going to be oniony, right? Because once it's in there, it disappears, doing its thing. And with your marinara, you don't want it to be too just thin. You want a little texture, right? All right, so how's everybody doing? Good morning, good morning. Ruby, hola. Oh, Deborah, you're with me again. All right, sis, so you had your shower and you ready? I know, I did. It is the best thing, when you work out and then you back. So nice. All right, let's get some garlic going. Always have fresh garlic in your kitchen. You're not a cook if you don't have fresh garlic. Oh, please do not pour that thing. Ugh. Garlic powder, onion powder. It's funny. There are a lot of people on TikTok or whatever. Actually, there was a post from a female chef the other day. She's like, the internet is awash with these cooks using their complete seasoning and Maggie cubes. And I was like, say it. Oh, I cannot stand that. You do not need to be using a cube to season your food. That's the processed food we're trying to get you away from. Come on. Use your herbs and garlic and onion. I know it's a lot easier to just pour a little powder here, a little powder there, but that will not compare to the taste of my food. Or any chef's food, they will tell you that. We're kind of bougie about that. And I remember the chef used to say, well, Maggie, if you have to use that, you don't belong here. I'm like, ooh, okay. He's feeling some kind of way about it. I was just trying to be funny saying that Hellman's mayonnaise was just as good as the mayonnaise he made us make. And he's like, well, you don't belong here. I'm like, oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. We don't want you to use all those prepared things to season your food. You don't know how long that thing has been on the shelves. Come on. Do you know how long the powder has been on the shelf? So I gotta watch this pan because the bottom is a little bit thin. So I don't want to burn my onion or garlic. Remember, once you burn it, it's hard for you to get the taste back. Okay? Controlling temperature is the first skill you learn as a cook. Once you burn your food, that's it. You gotta start over. Like I did. I had to many times. You burn the food, start over. And then you had so many minutes to make the dish, so like the stress you felt because you were not paying attention to your burner. I think the burners we used were gas when I was learning. I have electric here, and some people swear by gas. Everybody has their preference, which is fine. I feel safer with electric. But like here in my building, we are all electric, and I like that. That's why, I'm thinking of moving, and I'm like, this is gonna be hard. Because everything is gas here. Okay, so with my marinara, I'm going to put a sliver of red and yellow peppers. Not green, I believe. No, I'm not going to do green. But I'm going to put a little bit of carrots because the carrots kind of balances the color a little bit so it's not so bright red. I think I said that last time. Right? And then I have, burner, wow. And yesterday I struggled with this thing. Now it's acting so bright. Yesterday I was making some soup and I had to watch this thing. It just would not be hot. And now, all right, so I want my carrots to be very thin, because I want it to kind of disappear in the sauce. Okay? Alrighty. So how's everybody doing? How are you guys? Good morning, buddy. Ruby. Yes. I know. Alright, so let us small. So if somebody is showing me their, oh my God, some of the stuff people put online, I'm like, seriously, why do you have to put that out there? This guy he was making a burger, and then he took like a red pepper. He cut it this way, so he had the ring, and then he put the ground beef inside, and he salted it in a pan, barely, and then he had like a beautiful brioche bun, and he had cheese, he had bacon, and we all sitting here, that meat is not cooked. That's why you people get sick. People come to me and say, oh, I had the runs, and I'm going. Food poisoning is so easy. Stop eating everywhere. You don't know how the food was prepared, and that's how you're going to get sick. Food poisoning can kill you. I'm sorry to tell you that. But if you get a bad E. coli, yes. I'll never forget the little kid who died after eating a burger from McDonald's years ago. I'm sure you remember that. When you go to a restaurant, you're putting your life in the person's hand. Whoever is in the back, they're not washing their hands. If they're cross-contaminating, you are putting your life in danger. Come on. Learn to make some simple dishes. And if you live alone, you don't need to go crazy. You can go out once in a while. Just make sure you trust the restaurant. And it looks clean. Because what happens in the back of this restaurant, I'm sorry to tell you, it's not pretty. But I work at Disney, at downtown Disney, and I have to say, we had a good chef. The head chef, he was very on point, you know, temperature and, all right, let me get some of my, this is vegetable broth that I made yesterday from leftover, the spine from like broccoli and spinach. Just boil it. Alright, because I don't want my thing to burn, so I'm adding a little liquid. Alright, a little bit of red, yellow. I have some cherry tomatoes in the oven. So that looks good. I found like a whole bag yesterday for $1. So I roast them in my herb oil, and then I'm going to use that in my soup. All right. Now I do have a can of diced tomatoes, but I do also have some Roma tomatoes. I'm going to cut a couple of them because I'm going to do that before I put the tomato paste and the tomato sauce. I'm not doing paste today. And we're going to deglaze with some white wine. I always put some white wine in my marinara. All right. So, how is everyone? Yes, you know, I'm still doing my challenge, my exercise challenge. And we are on day 45. And some of you have been with me, and I appreciate it. I can definitely tell you I feel the difference, making some progress, but I feel like what I want, I'm going to need a bit longer. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay waiting, you know, because menopause just slows everything down. So whatever you want done is going to take you a little bit longer. Watch the temperature. Don't want to burn it. You're buying me time while I finish cutting these. Then we're going to season, then deglaze with the wine, and then add the tomato paste and tomato sauce. Well, tomato sauce. I was able to find some basil yesterday, albahaca, which is what we call it here. You know, whenever I find these herbs, I get so excited. They also had some mint, Yerba Buena, or menta. We have two types of mint here in Panama. Yerba Buena and menta. And yesterday I used my flat Japanese knife. It's actually pretty sharp. And I'm like, oh, this is so nice. Some people get excited over shoes and clothes. I get excited about knives. Yeah. People say, I don't like to cook. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't relate to that. I respect that, but I can't relate to not wanting to cook. I absolutely love it. I feel like I'm in my zone. All my good hormones are flowing. Yes. Alright, I think you guys want to see a little closer. Up. I think I have Michelle on today. Maybe I'll put her on. I don't know. This tall tripod is a bit tricky. It's very light at the bottom, so when I'm moving it, I have to be careful. Alright. So we are good. Alright, now I'm going to season a little bit. I did get a new grinder. It's not as good as my other one, but maybe that's why. I have my nephew coming in on Tuesday. Maybe I need to ask for a grinder. Very nice. Now you see the carrot has disappeared in here. You don't even see the carrot, right? That's the idea. Adobo. No Maggie cubes. Nah. No cayenne, not in this one. Basil, definitely. You have some dry basil. Perejil, some parsley. Yeah. You can always have your dry herbs. I'll give you a pass on that one. Dry herbs are okay. Just not... Oh, I have some red pepper flakes. Oh no, this is cayenne. No, cayenne. No. Okay. Alright, let's deglaze with the wine. Oh, I hope I have some Chardonnay. I don't want to use my Riesling. The Riesling is for me to enjoy. So, a little bit of white wine. Okay. We're going to let it evaporate. And then we're going to add our tomato product. Diced tomato and the smell. So good. Listen, you don't have to be a cook. You can make this. Well, you can always buy ragu or prego, but I guarantee you it's not going to be as good as this. I'm just saying. Alright, so we're going to open this one. And this is how the tomato paste sauces come here in Panama. If you're going to look for hunts, you're going to pay a pretty penny. And we tell you, when you come to Panama, if you hung up on name brand, you're going to pay. Oh, and I meant to post they had some blackberries at Ray's yesterday or the other day, and they were like $7 for the little small pack. I'm like, I don't think so. Thank you very much. I'm good. All right. Oh, that looks amazing. And I want that. I don't want the marinara to be really thin. I want a little body, a little texture. Okay. Not as many of you today, but that's okay. We didn't have that many for the exercise either. All right, so now we're gonna add our diced tomatoes and tomato sauce and some of the stock. I need a lot of that marinara because I have family coming and I want to leave some to make some spaghetti and meatballs. So I'm doing all of it. And then I'm going to let it simmer. So I'm going to put it in the back because I'm going to be making the cornbread right now. Put the cornbread in the oven and then work on the soup. And by that time, the marinara would be just about done. Timing. Timing is everything. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm going to put half of my stock in here because I need the rest of it for my soup. See. La sopa. All right, that is good. All right. We're going to cover it because it's going to splash otherwise. Ooh. It's good already. Ah! The taste is amazing already. Wow. That's why you have to take time to season your food. Then the work is done for you. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. We turn this off. And let's clean up a little bit. And then we'll start on the cornbread. I told you there's a woman on TikTok, ouch, talking about how the wood boards are not good. And she's talking about another story. They told her to say that. This is the line the marketing people told her. Oh, I was using the board and then my husband got sick. And then when I looked and I saw mold in the ridges of the thing, I'm like, your husband got sick because you were not a clean cook. Stop it. Oh my God, these folks. They really get to me. People don't wash their hands while they're doing anything. Well, you know, I'm a nurse, so I'm obsessed about the hand washing. But this is how people get sick in the kitchen. When they have their meats and then they use the same board, they don't wash it in between. Oh, no. All right. So we're going to use, and your cornbread is just like when you're making biscuits. You don't want to overwork it. All right? So, vamos. All right. My recipe is a recipe I've had for the longest time. All right. We're going to mix the dry ingredients. Butter the pan and set aside. So what we're going to do for this one, since we're going to be using our cast iron today, so I went to Reba Smith to find like a spray, and I think the pan was like $5 or $6. I'm like, no, I am not doing that. So you try to keep your cast iron looking sexy all the time. It's gonna, these things live forever, okay? All right, so I decided, let me see, do I need to use some parchment paper? Maybe not. We just need to butter this. have regular butter. ¿Qué vamos a hacer? Regular New Zealand butter. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on there and put it on here. It will melt because this is kind of hot. See. And then we're gonna use the brush to kind of brush it out, and that will make it ready for me. I say. I'm gonna have to check on these tomatoes. Ooh, they look so good. All right. And then when you roast the tomatoes, you can kind of coarsely chop them a little bit before you put them in your soup. Whew, gonna be yum with the texture. Okay. So we're gonna mix our dry ingredient. Sugar. 5.3 ounces. This is 8 ounces, so. I have sugar in the house, folks, but if I tell you I don't use it, you won't believe me. The white stuff, I don't use. All right, so my pan is ready, nice and, see, I knew it was gonna happen. There we go. So it won't stick. Listo. All right. Then, 5.5 ounces of sugar. And then I'm gonna eyeball it because I'm not gonna be precise. If I was making a different type of cake or something, yeah, when you bake, you have to be real precise. But this, and I'm not gonna eat this today. I'm just gonna take a slice to show you guys. Okay, I think that's about right. Where's the top? Oh, all right. 11.6 grams of flour, AP flour. So that would be almost a cup and a half. See? A cup. Yeah, that's good enough. All right. But if you want to be real precise, I used to have like a little scale, and then people cut that when they're measuring the cups. You can be fancy. You can do that. You can do that. I will let you have it. Okay. 85 grams of cornmeal, 3 ounces. Now I want you to know that we are challenged in the cornmeal area here in Panama. I can tell you how many places I have been to find cornmeal that looks like the one that comes in that paper. Oh, that's another thing I can ask my nephew to bring. Oh, yeah, because I can't find that. I have been to so many. 3 ounces of cornmeal. And this has cornmeal, but it doesn't feel the same. It is very thin, it's not grainy. People are using polenta instead of grits here. So I think maybe I'll put a little bit more. Doesn't look like it's got enough corn. All right. Oh, it looks like it's got a lot of flour. Yeah. Okay. So we need salt and baking powder. Baking powder, 0.7 ounces. 0.7 ounces. I'm trying to remember my math. How much is 0.7 ounces? All right, I'm gonna use my phone. So I have my little cucharas here, my little spoons. 0.7 ounce. I know somebody will tell me. I think a teaspoon is like 0.7 ounces. 2 grams. 19 grams and 19.8 grams to 19.8 grams. I'm gonna say 2 teaspoons. Okay. I need to write it down. 18 grams is 4 teaspoons. Okay. All right. So this is a teaspoon. Maybe half a tablespoon. 1 teaspoon. So we're gonna do like, yeah, this is the time, one of those, you need a good amount of baking powder to make it rise, right? So that's 3. That's 4. I think that's enough. All right. And we need salt and we need baking soda. Salt, 1 teaspoon. Don't forget the baking soda. That's what's gonna make it rise. Okay, 1 teaspoon of salt. 20 grams, or the same amount. Baking powder, I'm just gonna put a teaspoon of baking powder. I mean baking soda, not baking powder. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está, corazón? ¿Qué pasó? Well, you know that beep, I never know what it's for, what it means. All right, 1 teaspoon baking soda. Yeah, that's just about right. Because it's very salty. We don't want too much of that. Mix. Mix, mix, mix. Well, the other thing I like to put in my cornbread is a little bit of ground black pepper, not cayenne, but okay. So that's good. And then here, we are going to put, it's like 9.5 ounces of milk. Now, I don't have milk in the house all the time, and I bought this little ones. And I have to see how many ounces that is. 237 milliliters. Uh-oh. I hope I have enough. 237 ml. 2 ounces. 8 ounces. Oh! Saved by the bell. So, I bet. And the milk here is not refrigerated. They're on the shelves. Okay, 8 ounces. Oh, look at that. Just, oh wow. I got lucky, I'll tell you. Eat 3 eggs. And I forgot to put the eggs out because I always like to use temperature eggs, So 3 eggs. Don't want the shells in there. 2 eggs. 3 eggs. Ooh, it is warm in here. The humidity has been insane here in Panama City. Oh my God. Yesterday I stepped outside. I felt like I had stepped out into a sauna. You hear me? It was so hot. Whew. Dear Lord. Okay. Then we got to put some oil. And I'm putting cheese in mine, okay? You don't have to if you, well, you won't be vegan because we put eggs in here. Okay, oil, 150 ml of oil, which is 5 ounces of oil. You can use whatever oil you want. So this is 8 ounces, so 5, it's gonna be a little bit over half. Yeah, it's so. Okay. Now I have some jalapeno that I'm gonna put in mine, okay? Because I wanna mix jalapeno. Okay, we have the oil, the milk. Yep. Let's put the jalapenos in. So this is a jalapeno cornbread recipe. Aquí están. I'm gonna take the seeds out because I don't want the whole thing to be hot. I just want the flavor of the jalapeno. That's how I take my seeds out. And it works. Okay, estamos. I was talking to my team, my Spanish class. Oh, I love those ladies. We have so much fun. Trying to get them to say zanahoria. Oh my God, it's like zanahoria. Finally, I said, okay, you know what? I'm leaving the Z alone. Greta's probably laughing now. It's like, let's leave zanahoria alone for a little bit. We started the alphabet, you know, it's like they want to say E, no, it's A. Oh my God, that is so much fun. But they're just not deterred. They're starting to talk. I'm so impressed. I tell you, as a teacher, there is nothing better. There's no better feeling when you're trying to get something across to a student and then they get it. I remember when I was teaching nurses and when they start reasoning and you're like, oh my God, they got the critical thinking. They're getting there. Oh, it is so nice. It is so nice. And I think that's why most people who are teachers just love what they do. That light bulb moment is just something amazing. See. Love it. All right, let's see. Let this tomatoes burn. Oh, it still looks good. Okay. All righty, so we're gonna slice these thin. I don't know if I'm gonna put both of them in there, maybe one. I think 2 will be a bit overwhelming. So we're gonna do 1. But I love jalapeno in eggs, in omelets. It's just a little bit of heat. If you're anti-heat, don't go there, okay? But for somebody who's trying to get used to heat, that's probably the best way to start, right? Okay, marinara is cooking, and here we go. Small, really thin, really small dices. Because you don't want to bite on a big piece of jalapeno. Watch your fingers. Curl your fingers so you don't. Alright, and I like to give it another little chop because I really don't want it to be too chunky. Okay, vámonos. Alright, so we're gonna put that in here. So we have salt in the, we got baking soda, baking powder, black pepper. I think we're good. And I do have some cheese that we're gonna put in it. So we're gonna mix. If you wanted, you could beat the eggs before you put it in here, but I'm good with that. I just love the eggs here. They're just nice and bright. So here you go. All right. Now we're gonna add our dry ingredient. You see, the cornmeal is not looking very cornmeal-y, but remember, I did your disclaimer that we are not able to find the type of cornmeal that we really want. Oh yes, I have to ask my nephew to bring me one. Yes. Eso. Come on, get out, get out, get out, get up, get up. Give it up, give it up. Give me my cornmeal back. Give it up, give it up. It's not yours. Give it. I don't know, it starts looking like cornmeal. Okay. Vamos para la Okay. Now I know it's got raw eggs, but I'm gonna taste it a little bit just to be sure. See, the batter looks good. Okay? But you don't want to overwork it. You never want to do that. See. All right, el queso. And then this is where I would put the bacon that I would have cooked and chunked. You can add bacon to this if you want, okay? And here, I'll just go ad lib. And of course, I have a taco cheese mixture just to keep with a little bit of heat. So I'm thinking maybe about a cup of cheese, okay? So if you guys want me to put the recipe in the description, I will. But eso. We are done. So we got plenty of baking powder, a little bit of baking soda. So hopefully that's enough to make it rise. And we're gonna drop it in our cast iron pan. You could put like, I was gonna put parchment paper, but I didn't want it to affect the shaping of the batter in here, so I did not. But that is just perfect for this size. That's why I didn't want to make cornbread in my other huge pan. That would be like making 2 recipes. And who wants that much cornbread? Oh, no. So this friend, who brought me these? I'm trying to think of her name. But she brought me a set of 3. Monica. Yeah, Monica. Thank you, Monica. I hope you're watching. You could see. So, here we go. Estamos. So that's going to go in the oven. And that's not going to take a long time. And the soup that I'm making is not going to take a long time. So, everything's going to be done about the same time. Timing is everything, guys. Muy bueno. Yum. Wow. And that little kick with the jalapeno, perfecto. All right, we're gonna take the, I'm gonna take the, ooh. These are the cherry tomatoes I have been cooking in my herb oil. Look at that beauty. Ooh, yes. And then I'm gonna mash them a little bit and put them in my soup. You see why I get excited? This is what excites me. Sorry. I know I'm weird that way. Very weird. Okay. So now we are putting our cornbread in. Let me look at my temperature. Oh, I think it's good. Almost beautiful. All right. Let me put a timer on just to be sure. This should be about 30 minutes. And and vamos. Okay. So I looked in my cupboard and I had some cannellini beans. So we are going to start our soup. So it's gonna be onion, garlic. I don't have celery. So we're gonna do the peppers, all three. I could not find green peppers yesterday because I went to the place late, so they have poblano peppers. We can use that as well. And we're gonna put some of the little marinara, and we're going to add the cannellini beans. I'm trying to think of something else I'm missing. And our crushed tomatoes, a little bit of coconut milk to it's gonna kind of balance the color out a little bit. So it's like a minestrone. I'm not using red kidney beans. They're just very irritating to my tummy. And even the cannellini beans, I don't think I'm gonna put the whole can because beans just don't do well with me these days for some reason. And I think that should do it. But before we do anything, let's finish with the marinara. Okay? Get the marinara too. And my masher. No, I do want the diced tomatoes to kind of, melt, and I'm breaking them up. Okay? I'm not putting those tomatoes in here, no. And I have the basil albahaca, which is what we call it here. Lots of basil towards the end, lots. But right now, I want to make sure that the taste is good. The white wine had evaporated, and let me tell you, I tasted it earlier. It was like, it's got everything I need in it. The taste-wise, it didn't need to add anything else. So, a ver. Ooh. Somebody's calling. texted me. Hello, hello. Hit the like button, guys. Thank you. Barbecue, everything is not healthy, you guys. That fire, when it touches your meat, it changes the consistency. That char is carcinogenic, okay? That means it promotes cancer. So you can have it once in a while, not just every weekend. Which is what I see my brothers and sisters do. Oh my gosh, it tastes so good. Wow. Put a little bit of, it tastes exactly like what a marinara should taste like. Oh man. So good. Let's come back so you guys can see. Very good. So once I know that the taste is good, I can put it back there again and let it simmer for a little bit longer because the consistency needs to thicken out a little bit. I didn't put tomato paste in there, but that's okay. I'm not gonna put it now. Too late. Because you kind of have to cook tomato paste. You don't want to just put it in there. You have to cook it down a little bit. Otherwise, no. Wow. You know what I'm missing right now? A whole habanero pepper to pour in there. Without breaking it, that would bring the taste to exactly what I want. But we don't have that. In the absence of that, I'm going to just put a twig of thyme in here. But I'm going to tie it. This thyme here is just long, and trying to fish it out inside this thing is not fun. So I'm going to do that. You know what I think we're going to do next week? I was thinking about it. We're going to make coq au vin. Oh, you know me, I tend to stay fancy a little bit. We'll make coq au vin. And I also got that deep dish. Oh no, actually next week I'm going to have my nephew here. 2 young people. We'll make quiche Lorraine because it's a very rich kind of quiche, which I don't want to be here for me to eat. So I'll make quiche Lorraine. And we got to think about the side. All right. So I'm putting the thyme in here because I don't have the habanero pepper. And that's the thing. You start thinking on your feet and then you substitute. Because in your mind, you just want to build flavor. Okay? So that should do it. When I'm almost ready for it, then I will chop up a bunch of my fresh basil and put in there. And we'll be done. Okay. Very good. So I'm going to let it simmer. Okay. So for my soup, I have a problem with this pan. Sometimes it doesn't heat up as fast as I want. So let's pray that I don't run into that with it today. All right? You know how we start. Onion, garlic. But because it's soup, I'm not going to dice the onion too small because, again, you want everything to be about the same size. So I'm going to do like medium dice the onion. And I'm going to put this whole onion in there. I love onion and garlic. I love it all. What can I say? That's why somebody said, what do you want to do? My son sent me this thing. He said, would you do the chicken foot stew? Listen, all of you Caribbean who love chicken feet, I'm sorry. And the African, I can't do it. I cannot. I will not. And I said to someone, if I was somewhere and there was nothing for me to eat, I'll eat some trees, you know, or some branches before I'll eat chicken feet or some kind of rodent. Ooh. They tried to tell me that worms were really good when I was in South Africa. I said, I'm sorry, I can't do it. No puedo, no puedo. Okay? And I'm not gonna do it. I don't eat frogs. Nope. Oh, it's like chicken. Well, whatever. I'm glad it's like chicken, but I don't want to taste it. I remember the eyes and the legs when they hop. Mm-mm. No puedo, no puedo. Es que no puedo, no puedo. There's a song like that in Spanish. So I'm like, no, no puedo. Mm-mm. They presented me with a plate with the worm, chicken legs, and chicken gizzard, and I was hyperventilating. I'm looking at it, and I was like, oh my God. They tell you you can't refuse. It will be rude. I'm fixing to be rude right now because I can't. I think my face said it all. And the little young man who was serving, he looked at me, he said, you don't have to eat it if you don't. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. I did eat the gizzard, but the chicken leg, mm-mm. I said, no, thank you. Oh my God. Whew. I saw that they were eating monkeys and stuff in some places in Africa. And I'm like, you could not pay me. I don't know what you're going to do to me, but I'm not going to eat it. Nope. I draw the line. Even though I know the Lord said, multiply, you have dominion over the animal, leave the little monkey alone. I went to Peru, and they were eating, what is that animal that they eat? What is it? It's like a small little pig. Is it a pig? Anyway, there's something weird that they eat, and they say, I think it's some kind of pig. And then they say it's a delicacy. I said, no, sorry. And they said, you sure you don't want to try it? I said, no. I'm all for when I travel, immersion and trying things. But, no, sorry. Oh, I forgot what it is. Does anybody know again the little animals that they eat in Peru? Oh, that Maggie, I don't eat octopus either, honey, but I do eat shrimp though. I love shrimp. And they tell me, oh, it increases your cholesterol, and that was before. Now they tell us cholesterol is not a bad thing. That's why I keep telling you, don't listen to these people, they're crazy. Don't eat that, don't eat that. I say I've been eating it since I was little, and all of a sudden now I'm in my 60s, you're telling me not to eat it? No. I mean, we know not to overdo red meat, right? I'm not going to do the carnivore diet. But, all right, so I'm having the garlic, but I'm not chopping it too small, okay? So, texture. Whenever you're cooking, paint texture, right? If you're doing minestrone, you know you want to be able to taste what you're eating. You want some texture. So I had a little bit of that carrot, so I'm going to cut that. And again, I'm looking at this side, okay? Throw it in there. And that was left over. And when I cook, I go see what's in my fridge, what's in my cupboard, and I come up with a creation. Because I don't want anything to just sit there. Okay, I need another carrot. Yeah, you need more carrots than that. So I have one. And carrots are abundant here. I love that. Carrots, celery, apio, we call celery. We were learning the vegetables in Spanish class. Apio, repollo, cabbage. Now, I love cabbage, but not in this soup, okay? Well, actually, the burner is behaving this morning. I don't know. This is a German brand. It just drives me nuts. And that's why people say they like the flame, because you can control it better. Yes. I'll give you that. Let's check on our cornbread. Is it rising? Ooh, it's starting to look good. Yes. All right. Now, we're going to put our carrots on the bias, okay? I remember when I was in school, we used to do them like that. Do you know you had to go in front of a teacher and you had a little chart with all the sizes of your vegetables, and then he had a meter, a ruler that he was measuring. I'm like, that's torture. There was a thing we used to do to potatoes. Oh, now see? I forgot what you used to call it. But it was, I think those are too big. I'm going to cut them in half. That's too big. On the bias is too big, so we're going to cut them in half. Because we're thinking of the cannellini beans and the size of that. We don't want any cuts to be out of line, so to speak. Everything should be about the same size. That is something you got graded on in school. Tournée, oh my God, the tournée potatoes. You take a nice potato and you have to give it this oval looking shape. And by that time you have wasted like half the potato to get to that little. And I used to say, you know, I've always been thinking about waste. And I'm like, come on, chef. I'm like, you are wasting half the potato to have the tournée. Who cares what? They were so tired of me. They were so tired of me. And I'm like, that is not right. You're wasting half. Okay, let me cut my hair myself. You're wasting half the potato because you want the tournée. Oh, I hated that. Okay. So, now you know carrots is probably the thing that's going to take the longest to cook in this soup. Because everything else, oh, look at that. That is beautiful. But I'm still watching the heat because I don't want to burn my, anything in here. All right, so keeping in mind the size, again, we're going to put our bell peppers, okay? About that size. And I'm going to do the poblano because I don't have a bell pepper, a green one. You know, poblanos, you can stuff them with like rice and meat and then you bake them. Oh, really good. Play with your food, folks. Play with your food. That's where the joy comes in. When you try different things and you're like, oh, I tried a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Oh, that came out really good. And what do we call those? Recipes. That's why I tell people, if you tell me I stole your recipe, I don't know what you mean, because I always add my twist to it. And if I add my twist to it, it's mine. It's not yours. So get over yourself. But, you know, if I'm making something classic as quiche Lorraine, I'm not going to call it quiche Lorraine if I'm putting ground beef or something in it. And you know I'm part French, so we are a little bit. Ooh, everything smells so good in here. All right, vamos. Poblano, peppers are in. Now we're gonna add some red. Ooh, yum, yum, yum. Looking absolutely delish. And those tomatoes, when I'm ready to crush some in there, it's gonna be a game changer. All right, I think that's enough. So you know, when you, these are the kind of thing I try to always have in the house. And today I decided, you know, like bell peppers, onion, garlic, I try to always have those because I can always come up with something. You put them in eggs and, you know, anything. I used to make a veggie wrap at the restaurant. I used to have lots of peppers and people used to love that. All right, still cooking. But today I decided to add some squash to this soup. Because remember, this is my recipe, my soup, so I can put in it whatever I want. But I'm not putting that in there yet because the squash takes no time to cook, right? It cooks even faster than regular potatoes. So if I don't want it to, and I'm not looking for it to be like a yellow soup like you see Jamaican soup or Haitian soup, no. This is just like a regular potato. I just want it to be like that in there. Whew. My goodness, that was hard. All right, so that was hard. All right, so I'm going to leave it here for a minute and I will add it towards the end, okay? Alrighty. We're gonna season, add some marinara, add the broth. Oh, that's what was beeping. I'm like, what is that? Oh, all right, we're gonna. This thing didn't ring yet. We still have 10 minutes. All right. But the cornbread looks amazing. And we have to give it like 5 minutes to rest before we cut into it. Whew. So much fun. This is so much fun. Are you having fun? I'm with you on that, Maggie. Oh yeah. 6 egg Steven? Not sure what you mean, sis. All right, let's season. You know the usual. Adobo, black pepper. We have plenty of garlic in there. This grinder is very fine, which I like. I don't like big pieces of pepper in my food, but I like it a little, you know, coarser, I guess. Okay, we have some paprika. Now it's me. I have a little bit of red pepper flakes. It's gonna give it a little bit of heat. This is me, but if you don't like that, you don't have to put it in there, okay? All right. And basil, always. You can't ever go wrong with some basil in a stew. It's not gonna do anything. And perejil, parsley, CCC. Okay. Cayenne, dill now. All right, we'll leave it like that. Now I probably need to add a little salt. If you're not into salt, don't add it. But I am. You don't need a lot of salt in your food, but I just think salt balances. Excuse me. All right. So we're going to add some marinara. I'm going to add a little bit of that coconut milk right now. Also, the cannellini beans, I'm going to have to rinse them up because I don't like that white, whatever it's in there, the brine. Nuts. Like that. I don't know, maybe I'll put it in there and fish the beans out. I don't know. Yeah, I don't like that brine. I don't know what's in it. So, we're gonna rinse it. Yeah. Look at that, guys. Isn't that beautiful? Woo. Play with your food. Okay, coconut milk. Just a little bit, not too much. Un poquitito, like quarter cup. ¿Y qué más? Oh, that's good. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put the squash. We're gonna keep the same principle in terms of size. But that's me because I love squash so much. But if you're like, that's soup, you can't put squash in there. Who says I can't? You can do whatever you want with your food. You're the one gonna eat it. Now, like I said, it's not gonna take too long to cook. Poquitito. Pasito, pasito. Oh, I think the cornbread should be cooked. I don't want it to overcook. Let's get it out and check it. Cornbread. So now we're going to stick something in it, make sure the inside is cooked. I've been trying to learn how to use these so long, but I don't think that's a good choice. But oh, this will do. All right. If it comes out clear, it's done. All right. All right. So let's put the cornbread to the side. To the left, to the left, to the right, to the right. Let's see. Oh, don't you love it when things come together? Your food. All right. So now I'm going to get some of that marinara and put it in here. If it has like some chunks, I want the chunks in my soup. Okay, and then I'm going to leave the rest so I can make that pasta for my nephew. They arrive on Tuesday. So that will do right here. All right. Now we're going to pour the veggie broth in. You know, that's just about the right amount of water that I need. Because this is not one of those soups that you want it too brothy. Like when I made the sancocho yesterday, you want it really brothy. This one is more You want a little bit of the consistency, right? So even towards the end, if it's too light, too thin, I can always put a little bit of cornstarch to thicken it, all right? So let's taste. Let's let it come to a boil because it looks like it's gonna need a little bit more help. And then we're gonna have to add this tomato. So let's just not freak out yet. Okay, where is the... Yeah. All right. Let's pray that it gets hot fast. Because like I say, I get a little bit of trouble with it. Alright. In the meantime, I'm gonna clean up a little bit. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Hola everyone, I am your topic Greta. Yes, it's looking good, isn't it? Yeah. And you know, soup. You can do whatever you want with your soup. You know, I even thought of having a soup channel. I even have the channel, but you know what? I just don't have time to add anything else to my schedule these days. I'm like, enough is enough, Maggie. You're doing enough. Oh my gosh. Now with the exercise thing I'm doing every day at 8 a.m., so I can't go anywhere early. Even when I want to go to the meat market or the fish market, which you're supposed to be there early, I get there after 9 or 10. You already missed the best part, you know? So, but we're down to 29 days left in the, is 29 days? Or is it less than that? All right, thank you. My timer. Now see, I put it on for 30 minutes. We were like maybe 2 minutes before. All right, so we have basil here that's gonna go in. This can go in. And I'm gonna use my pretty plate. Get some water. I didn't get coffee today. So the cornbread is gonna go to my security people downstairs. I'm gonna cut them in slices, maybe put them in a baggie, and take it to them. You know, I thought of getting the bacon, but it's just too expensive. Bacon is like $12 here. I'm like, I don't eat it. I don't need it. I'll give you something else. All right. Soup is looking yummy, yes. Cornbread doesn't it look good? It looks really good. And you know, I was worried about this thing here because that's what I had to use in terms of the cornmeal. And I looked around. I looked at different things. But it's still too fine. It needs to be a little bit more grainy because you like your cornbread to be a little grainy. But when in Rome, you do the best you can, right? Yep. So, and then, what am I going to do with all this? Because I'm not going to be making cornbread anytime soon. And that's the other thing, you know, things that I don't use get, you know, they stay in my, this I'm going to put in the fridge because I don't want any of the little mites and stuff to get in it. So, see. Oh, look at myself. Now, I have 2 bottles of these. This is my favorite wine. Not this brand, but the Riesling. That's my favorite type of wine. Chardonnay is a good second. Pinot Grigio might be the third. But I'm a white wine, which I don't drink it a lot. But once in a while, you know, I sit here and I'm like, I get this swag. I live in my own house. I don't have to give it to anybody else. And like I said before, if I had a swag of the wine, my limbs are feeling loose and I'm sleepy, Not now. I can hold my liquor now. Maggie, you are so silly. I am. Come on. It's just starting to boil. Starting to boil. So, I also think I'm going to let this marinara cool off. And then I'm going to put it in one of those quart jars. And then you can freeze those. And the reason you want to have marinara on hand is like, let's say you have pasta. You have, I like this little multicolored pasta. So you can put that in, and if you want to make a marinara salad primavera or something, we used to make for the spring. And these, I told you, these are my go-to. If I'm hungry, you just toss a little bit of that in there, and then you're good to go. And in this soup that I'm making, a version of it I used to make when I was eating meat. I made the small meatballs, turkey meatballs, and then you throw them in there. Listen, game changer. And then if you eat bread, you cut a piece of French bread. And if you want to brush with some garlic, like I'm going to do on Tuesday, I'm making spaghetti with, I'm going to do meatballs, regular meatballs, throw them in the marinara. That's the sauce. And then, I bought a little bit of a Parmesan cheese you can put on top. But if you wanted to make this soup even heartier, you would do some small meatballs. And of course, I never really used to meat. So I thought, if I did the turkey, it was the best thing. But anyway, but you can do some small meatball turkeys and then throw them in that soup. And that's a meal, right? So you don't have to, doesn't have to be complicated. I'm trying to get my sisters who don't cook to just say, well, I can do a soup. I can do this. I can do that. Yeah, you can. And if you make this soup and you by yourself, that's maybe two days worth of soup, right? So you don't have to do a lot. Because when I cook here with you guys, look at this soup. Look at the color of it, right? So in a little bit, I'm going to add some of those tomatoes. And then if I wanted the texture to be a little thicker, and add a little bit of cornstarch, right? Now this soup definitely is going to need a splash of lime juice, okay? So, for my marinara, I haven't put my, look at that. I didn't even put my basil in there. So I'm going to put some basil in here since I did basil in my marinara. Let's put the heat up a little bit low. You can't have marinara without basil in it. No. All right. So I'm going to throw some basil in my soup as well. Basil is one of those herbs that is very versatile. You can put it in your stews, in your soups. I just want to know if I can just use it as tea. I haven't done that yet. But I can. Who says I can't? All right. Gonna put that in there. And I'm gonna put the rest of it in my soup. Oh, and in my soup also I need to put some thyme. Thyme. But I'm going to wait on my soup because remember, your herbs you're supposed to put towards the end. So we'll wait on that. But in the meantime, I'm going to tie some thyme. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Oh, it looks so good. See. But But it looks, I'm definitely gonna thicken it up a little bit, okay? Where's the time? You know, when I go to the store and I see this thyme, I get so excited because I know it's gonna last me 2 or 3 weeks, and it's fresh and it's yummy. Yes. So I don't like to fish out thyme twigs in my food, so I'm gonna throw it in there. And I think I missed some bay leaves. Throw some bay leaves in there. All right. So now I'm going to, remember these? The chopped tomato cherry, ooh. Ooh. Now this got my herb oil in there, so you know it's yum, yum. Alright, so we got the basil in the marinara. We're good. Turn it off because you always put your herb at the end. And here I'm going to take that chunky tomato and put it in there. And I'm going to take a little bit of that, all that goodness here with herb oil and the juices. Ooh, yes. Put the rest back. Last time I cooked, I put some eggplant in there, and it was so good. It's getting there. It's not there yet, though. I call that the doctoring part of bringing the food to the flavor that you want. Now I have a lime here. I'm going to squeeze in there in a minute. But in the meantime, let's see what else we can add there to bring the flavor up. My good old adobo to the rescue. Always. You know, I'm out of slap your mama. That's probably what I'm missing, but I'm out. Okay. We will do what we can with what we got. We're gonna squeeze some lime juice. So Greta, el limon, very good for your food. Yep. Yes. Always see what can I do to bring the flavor to what I want. So I put the bay leaves and I put the thyme. Now again, if I had a habanero pepper, I'm telling you, if I had thrown one in there, that would have been it. That would have been it. But I'm gonna let it here. What I want to do is add a little cornstarch just to thicken it up a little bit. Cornstarch is a natural thickener, and it does not do anything to your food. It doesn't mess with the flavor. So you always have, well, I always have it in my kitchen because if I'm cooking something and I want it to be a little thicker, that's what I put. And you just put a little water and you're good. Or if you have stock, you could do that. But I don't. So, do what I can. 100% pure cornstarch. And this brand here is really good. Bowl and basket. Yes. It's kind of a half fancy but affordable. And that's it. You just put a little water. We call that a slurry in culinary terms. A slurry. Okay? And you're always looking, because you don't want it to be too thick, right? You put a little bit and then you turn it around. Is this what you want? I think this is what I want. I think it's there now. Okay? Play with your food. Now, if you're vegan, you stop right here. But I'm not, so I'm going to add a little bit of butter because we always do what we call monter au beurre, which is the French term that says we're going to finish it off with a little bit of butter. And butter, I was trying to test my my squash. Yes, it's cooked. All right. Look at this beauty here. Look at that. All natural, all fresh. So if you're vegan, you got that. I don't know if you eat bread or not. I think you do. Whatever you want. You're done. Oh, wow. It's really good. All right. Let's not forget our basil, fresh basil. We'll throw it in there. Okay. Now, I also have some culantro. I think I'm going to pop a little bit in here. It's not going to hurt anything. I have culantro, not cilantro. Now, for those of you who may not know what culantro looks like, this is culantro. It's not like cilantro, is it? Cilantro is more like parsley, but this is culantro. This is what we use here. Mucho. So if you're looking at a Panamanian cook, they're going to be using culantro, okay, in their recipes. So I'm going to cut off the hard part, and then I'm going to, you don't want this to be too fine. We used to have a term, we say you do the chiffonade, but there. Ooh wee. By crocky, it's a beauty. Here we go. We got our soup ready to plate because I've kept you long. I'm sorry. But you see, you want the consistency. That's the consistency you want in the soup. And I only used my stock. I didn't put any water in here. So that's perfecto. And as a cook, always taste your food before you serve it. You need to know what you're serving people. It's hearty, it's yummy, but I'm going to put a little butter myself because I'm not worried about the cholesterol. This is not going to be the thing that takes me out. What's going to take me out is all the junk I have been eating for all those years. Yes. Do you remember Kool-Aid and Capri Sun and all the stuff we used to give these children? All right, I'm going to turn everything off. when you put the butter in, you don't want it to be cooking in because it's supposed to just give a shine to your food. That's like the topping. Oh, wow. That looks so good. Guys, play with your food, okay? Please. Now, was that hard? That wasn't too hard, was it? Was it? Was it? So if you are somebody who doesn't like to cook, this is soup that you can have for like 3 days. Look at that. So of course I'm gonna make sure I don't put that bay leaf on my plate, but oh my gosh, this is so pretty and so yummy. Excelente. All right, so now we're gonna plate. Yep, time for more herb oil. I used the last one in with my tomatoes. All right. So I got that pretty plate that I bought and I showed you guys when I got it. Let's get I think this will work. But I'm wondering, they're kind of about the same color. That's probably not the best plate for this. This would be good for like chili, tomato soup. I don't think we've made tomato soup here with like a grilled cheese sandwich. That could be something easy. I think I need to start a series about easy. But before that, I want to make quiche Lorraine next weekend, because that's my nephew gonna be here, and they can, yeah, we'll use this plate instead, and they can eat the rich quiche. And then the following week, I want to make coq au vin, which is a French recipe. It is chicken cooked in wine. And then after that, I'll start a series for like new cooks, inexperienced cooks, so that you guys can learn to cook some simple food. Everybody hiring chefs here. Oh, the chefs won't like that. Anyway, some people don't want to cook because they feel like, oh, I'm retired, I don't want to do any work. Okay, that's fine. Oh, goodness. And then now we're going to get the cornbread. Oh, it's still a little warm. Okay. We are going to, I have my serrated knife, but I don't want it to scratch my cast iron. So we're gonna use this thing that looks like a pizza cutter. So we're gonna use that and see if we can have one slice. One slice. Oops, how do I get the slice to come out? I think I need a knife to bring it up. Oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna take downstairs, so I might as well just slice them up. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Or maybe. So I've been wanting to get like a little woody wood type, I don't know what you would call it. like a small tray to put like bread and cornbread like that. So let's see if we can do this without messing up the cornbread. Woo. There we go. There we go. So we're gonna put that next to the soup. Maybe a thing of basil in the middle, and a couple of slices of. This is my plate over here. Ya. Aquí está. See? So now we're thinking of decorating, right? You know, presentation is key. Very important. Oh, okay, we can do this too. And again, remember, all this is coming to me as I'm talking to you. Let's do like a así, como like a heart. Then we have the cornbread. Oh my gosh. And ¿qué más? Okay. The other thing I could do, I could grate a little bit of Parmesan around it. This is one of those, it's kind of a minestrone slash whatever. I'm gonna do a little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano. Ooh. Now this is not for the vegan, don't look, close your eyes. Don't be upset. I'm playing with my food. You don't want to play with those? Don't, okay? But let us use our Parmesan if we want to. No shade. Yep. And you need like a really nice spoon, which I don't have, to put next to this. I just have a regular. This lady said I need to plate the food like fancy, but I don't have fancy right now. So this is our food. This is our soup. We just put a little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano on it. This is our cornbread, jalapeno cheese cornbread. You think you would eat that for lunch? Greta, are you ready? Thank you guys. You know I love to do this. This is what I do. This is what I love to do. So this is not drudgery for me. It just gets me excited, and that's my therapy. All right? All right, guys. Thank you for hanging with me. Cornbread. I'm going to take it downstairs to the guys, and hopefully they enjoy it. God loves you. I love you. Thank you so much, you guys. Au revoir. Bye-bye.